supernatural reality of being able to be released from what someone else owes us. So, if we can also push to separate into movies. So, we began this journey by talking about the little things that offend us with each other, right? The little things and the big things, and how offense opens up the door to a violent voice in our hearts. A violent voice that has become sophisticated and acceptable to us, but nevertheless is violent towards others. And we accept it and allow it because the other person is often wrong. So that's the justification, right? Is the other person is wrong. So for example, one of the minor offenses that I carried in my heart is I am super offended with people who pee on toilet seats and don't clean it up after themselves. What is that? No, not in women. I go in women's restrooms and there is pee on the seat and it is not wiped off. I understand that you decided to squat and not sit down, whatever, I don't care. But who did you think was going to come after you? So clearly you can see that I get offended with this. I mean, it's okay, but so you got to think of your own little offense. Think of your own little petty offense. Just for a moment. Maybe people who cut you off when you're driving, or people who just drive poorly. What is the thing that offends you? You have, I'm sure, for this. Do you have many things? I mean,
well, just other drivers in general. I just wish it was only me.
People in general.
Oh, there's people too. But I'm just trying to.
Yeah, right. Narrow it down into specific actions.
Oh yeah, you. As long as we're driving at separate times.
Right? Okay. Right? And you can tell because what do you have rise up within you is a violence. Right? And you're like, you almost get embarrassed maybe, or if you don't, you just kind of, but we have lots of different ways that we cope with this violence that we feel inside of ourselves. And so I have gone after this area in my life and said, anytime that violence rises up in me, Lord, I want to know who I really am. Because that's not the voice, that's not my voice, that's not my spirit. That's another voice getting to speak into my life and push on my emotional buttons and push me out of my true identity. So anyway, I'm at a potty stop and they only have a temporary outdoor toilet and there is pee all over everything. And I again just go, who was the last person who was here who thought that somebody else, me, should wipe their pee? And I was offended. And then I went, okay, Lord, what does this mean for me? What do you want to be for me here? That you couldn't be if I wasn't standing in a pee in toilet, right? I'm the only one who does these mental gymnastics, right? And I felt the Lord go, because I said, I would like to be the kind of person who's unoffendable. Like, wouldn't we all? How much easier would our life be if we were unoffendable? My life personally would be so much easier. Because I wouldn't have to navigate all the frustration that I feel about things if I was unoffendable. And I would like to be that person who just sails through those things and just goes, it just doesn't matter. But anyway, I asked the Lord, when am I going to be unoffendable in this? And he said, it's never unoffendable when somebody operates out of their true identity. So while it's a silly little thing like peeing on a toilet seat, it's never unoffendable when somebody operates outside of their true identity. So apparently the Lord feels that peeing on a toilet seat and not wiping it up after yourself is operating outside of your true identity. Right? So when somebody is operating outside of their true selves, it will always be offensive. It will always be offensive because it's somebody operating outside of their true selves.
That's a better way to put it. It had multiple negatives in the other one. I don't know, like 7 or 17 maybe.
Whatever partnership I have with the Holy Spirit was going south.
I was trying to count up them.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so what we got it okay now?
No, one more time.
Okay.
Is that starting negative?
Not.
It will always be offensive to you.
It will always be offensive when people operate outside of their true identity. So our aim isn't to not be offended. Because
Our aim is not to pee on the toilet seat. I knew you were thinking it.
It was just right there, wasn't it? Low-hanging fruit. So our goal isn't to not be we have an opportunity. Do we let that voice rule our emotions and our mind and our actions? Or do we allow a voice of goodness and peace and love to reign in our hearts and minds? I love that verse that says, may the peace of God, rule your heart and mind. And what so many people think is, I've got to guard my heart and mind. No, we don't guard our heart and mind. It's the peace of God that rules our hearts and minds. It's His presence in this moment that rules our heart and mind. And so we get to engage in release. Will I release? Will I allow the Holy Spirit to make me able to release my partnership with offense so that I can step in this higher? So I said to the Lord, that is really helpful to me, to know that I can be offended at people who pee on seats and think that I should be their cleaner. Like, thank you. And you know what? Once you give Him permission, all the angst just melts away. How weird is that, right? When you're given permission to be upset about something, it's like, now you don't need to be upset about it anymore. And also, I think the Lord somehow dignifies us in that process. That when we're in a situation that's demeaning and devaluing, which is where most offense comes from, or just our value system is hit by someone else, somehow Him stepping into that space and valuing us, it just kind of takes the sting out of it. So then I said, okay, Lord, what do I get to do here in this? And He said, well, wouldn't it be fun in the presence of somebody operating not in their true identity to bless them in their true identity? And I was like, I am so big enough. I can do that. Like, I can do that. So I started talking to that person in the Spirit while I was wiping off their pee. I bless you in your finances. I bless you. And I felt strong and powerful in that moment, not offended, and not coming over the top with some sort of big, or you know what I mean? It was just simple. Let me just bless you. Because this, which feels demeaning and devaluing to me, I can see you're just operating out of your true identity. Meaning outside of your true identity. And so now I can call you into your true identity. And I started to realize that when we are stung by the pain of somebody's woundedness, we have a right to speak into that space. And we can either agree that they are that, or we can agree that they are something else. Because when we've been stung by that, we have access to that place. Now, does that mean that it is going to change their life? It might not. But what I do know is it changes their atmosphere. And then, this is how God likes to do vengeance. Are you ready for this? He says, Ange, we're just praying for one guy. Why don't you pray for every seat keeper on the planet? Why don't you call forth the identity of every person who pees on seeds? Call them into their true identity. Let's bless their finances. And see how the Lord starts to leverage? Because these are, again, this is not an intellectual exercise. This is a spiritual reality. And one person's agreement with God about who people are is greater than a whole city's agreement with evil. So we start to then get to leverage into situations that frustrate us goodness. And we get to operate in our true identity. Now, one confusion with this has been the idea of what forgiveness is that it is not. So that's what we're going to spend a little bit more of our time on, is what is not forgiveness that we have been confused about in the past. And then we're going to share a little bit more. So if you have a comment on what I've shared so far, feel free to share that. And then we'll start talking about what forgiveness is not.
Your part about calling them into their identity. That just happened this week, major instance of it, and just hearing all sorts of crazy talk, and then to know that's not who you are. I actually did it verbally rather than just, and I saw this shift most of the time I wouldn't necessarily do that so boldly, but as I did, I just saw this, and the whole conflict and the resentment and the, whatever offense just melted, because it's not convicted, because that sounds like but they came into the realization, wait, no, you're right, this is who I am. And we all get confused about who we are at different moments, right?
Yes, we do.
When we get weak and when we are failing or we get emotional about it, emotions are good, but anyway, sometimes we don't know who we are, and someone has to call that out. And so, yeah, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah. And it helped me then not to take offense at what they were saying, because I was able to say, this is who you are. What you're speaking is not who you are. And yeah, anyway, it was just, so I think that's a good place I love camping on that right now. 'Cause I have to do that for me too.
Right?
Right, constantly, because you get these negative voices, and then you have to say, no, that's not true.
It's not who I am.
Yeah, it's not who I am, and I won't stay in that. So,
Hurt has brought me to this place.
Right, exactly.
Hurt has brought me to this place, but this is not who I have to stay.
And that's usually what it is. It's the hurt. You can see people that,
Right.
in our styles.
Good. Any other comments? Okay, so we did a little bit of this before, and we're going to revisit it, because I felt the Lord was wanting to revisit what forgiveness is not. So I was like, really? Because that doesn't sound very exciting anymore. These are the conversations I had with the Lord. He's like, no, we're really going to revisit. So for whatever reason, with our group, with us today, I feel the Holy Spirit going, I want to give you clarity on what forgiveness is not. So each of us gets to press into that invitation and go, what new revelation do you want to give me, Lord, about what forgiveness is not? Okay? And then we'll share that with each other. So I'll share one of mine. Forgiveness is not I already shared one of my regular ones, but an intellectual exercise. My big revelation this week was on that passage, and I think I might have mentioned this a little bit last week, so maybe it was in the 10 days ago category. That verse where it says, how many times should you forgive somebody? It said, what does it say? 7 times 70, right? And that has often been used as a reason for people to stay in abusive relationships. That has often been used for people to continue to put themselves into harm's way. And I don't feel the Lord's heart and presence in that kind of understanding. So if you put the 7 times 70. So I've been asking the Lord about that. And my first step of revelation, or my first processing of it, was that number really represented abundance. That number represented that there is a limitless capacity within us to forgive. It doesn't mean that we need to have a limitless capacity to be abused. But then the Lord said something different to me, and it was so funny. I think this was after Tuesday, maybe, when we talked, gals, where the Lord said, it's not just about a limitless representation. He goes, it's about completeness. The number of times that we forgive people is a number of completion. Did you know?
No, I just love that he did the math.
He did not.
I
I'm not letting go. But I felt the Lord was, it's not about a specific number, it's about the symbolism of the number, and so he started to talk to me about abundance. But then he started to finish the conversation and go, it's not just about an abundance, a capacity that we have to be limitlessly released from the pain that is inflicted on us by others. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is a supernatural ability to be released from the pain of other people's actions. So we know that we have forgiven when we're released from the need, from anything for them, from them. And that is a supernatural reality. It is not something we can do to ourselves. Can you make yourself peaceful and joyful? No. But a fruit of the Spirit is peace and joy, and we know that we are in the Spirit when we are peaceful and joyful. See, God set into all of these things about His presence like a governor. You know, a governor like regulates speed, right? He set into these things where by their very nature, we can't fake them through legalism. We can't fake peace and joy. We can't fake being released from the pain of the harm that someone else has inflicted. So we know that there's still more spiritual work to be done. The beauty is we don't keep heaping it on ourselves going, oh, I haven't forgiven. It is, I haven't been released from the pain. So Lord, there's more work to do here. Isn't that so good? And so the Lord says, how many times? Until you are completely released. That's how many times forgiveness can operate in your life. Until you are completely